Hey, welcome back to our channel. If you're learning English and want a faster, easier, and more natural way to improve, you're in the right place. We tell simple stories in English every single day to help you speak and understand better. So make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you never miss a new one. Go ahead and do that now, your future self will thank you. Alright, let me tell you a little story. There was one thing I changed in my English learning. Just one thing. And honestly, it changed everything. It wasn't a new book. It wasn't a teacher. It wasn't a grammar trick. It was something so simple, but so powerful. Before I made this change, I was frustrated. I knew I wanted to speak English, but it always felt hard. I studied. I repeated words. I watched videos. I took notes. But I still didn't feel confident. I still couldn't speak clearly. I understood a little, but I always had to think too hard before talking. Sometimes I would freeze. I didn't know the right word. I forgot everything when I needed it. Sound familiar? It was like I had all these words and grammar in my brain, but they weren't ready when I needed them. Like they were sleeping. Then, one day, something happened that completely changed how I learn English. I was watching a short English video, just like the ones we make here on our channel. It wasn't a lesson. It was a story. A very simple story. A man was talking about losing his keys. He wasn't teaching anything. He was just telling his day. But something felt different. I understood almost everything. I didn't translate. I didn't stop the video. I just listened. I smiled. I felt something. I was connected. It didn't feel like studying. It felt like living. And in that moment, I realized something very important. The one change that boosted my English instantly was this: I stopped studying words and started listening to real English every day. That's it. I stopped trying to learn English. I started using it. Let me explain what that means. Before, I would sit with a notebook. I would write down words. I would try to memorize them. I would study grammar. I would take notes on tenses, prepositions, all that stuff. But I wasn't listening. Not really. I wasn't hearing how people actually speak. I wasn't feeling the rhythm, the tone, the real use of the language. So I made a decision. From that day forward, I was going to listen to English every single day. Not as a lesson. Not as homework. Just as part of my life. And not long after that, I started seeing big changes. Words started to stay in my mind, even if I didn't try to remember them. I could understand more without translating. I started thinking in English. I could answer simple questions more quickly. And best of all, I started enjoying the process. I stopped being afraid. The truth is, listening is the key that unlocks everything. Think about how babies learn. They don't study vocabulary lists. They don't learn grammar first. They just listen. Every day. All day. They hear their parents. They hear the sounds. And slowly, those sounds become words. Those words become sentences. And one day, they speak. It's the same for us. When I made listening my number one focus, my English changed fast. But I didn't just listen to anything. I was careful. I chose things that were simple, clear, and interesting. I didn't start with fast movies or complicated podcasts. I started small. Simple stories. Clear voices. Slow speech. Short conversations. That's why we make these kinds of videos here. Because they work. You don't need difficult material. You need easy, real, and repeated input. That's another thing I learned: repetition is magic. When I heard the same words and phrases again and again, they became automatic. I didn't have to memorize them. I just knew them. Because I heard them 100 times. Phrases like "I don't know," "Are you ready?" "That sounds good," "Let's go," and "It depends." These are common phrases in real English. And I learned them without studying. Just from hearing them again and again. And here's the best part: listening helps your speaking too. When you hear English all the time, your brain starts to copy it. Your mouth starts to copy it. You start to speak the way you hear. I remember one day, I was talking to someone and I said, "Actually, I already did that." After I said it, I stopped for a second. I thought, wait, where did that come from? I had never studied that phrase. I just heard it many times. And now, it was mine. That's how it works. You don't need to force it. You don't need to study everything. You just need to listen every day. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But I don't have time. You don't need hours. Even 10 or 15 minutes of listening a day can make a big difference. You can listen while you brush your teeth, while you cook, while you walk, while you rest. Make English part of your day, like music or background sound. Others might say, "But I don't understand everything." That's okay. You're not supposed to understand every word. You just need to understand the main idea. Your brain is smarter than you think. Even when you don't understand all the words, your brain is learning patterns, sounds, and feelings. Slowly, it connects the dots. And some of you might say, "But I don't know where to start." Start with what you have right now. Start with our videos. Start with one story a day. Listen. Enjoy. Repeat. Speak out loud when you feel ready. That's enough. Remember, small steps every day create big results. Now let me be honest. It didn't happen in one night. But after just a few weeks of focused listening, I felt different. I was more confident. I could speak more naturally. I wasn't scared to make mistakes. And little by little, I became fluent. So let me say it again. The one change that boosted my English instantly was listening to Real English every single day. Not with stress. Not with fear. But with joy. With curiosity. With connection. And you can do the same. Turn off the vocabulary lists for a while. Take a break from grammar books. And just listen. Really listen. Let the language come to you. Let it grow inside you. And then one day, it will come out of your mouth smoothly, naturally, like it always belonged to you. Because it does. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You just need to show up every day and listen. Even when it feels slow. Even when you're tired. Even when you think it's not working. Trust the process. Your brain is always learning. Even when you don't feel it. even when you don't see it. So start now. Pick one story. Listen to it today. And then listen again tomorrow. And then another one the day after that. Make this your new habit. Your new way. Your one change. And I promise you, you will see the difference. Alright, that's the end of today's story. If this helped you, if it gave you some hope or a new idea, share it with someone. You know someone who's trying to learn English the hard way. Help them out. Send them this video. It might be the change they need too. And leave a comment. Tell us your story. Are you listening to English every day? How do you feel about it? What's one thing you've learned from listening? We want to hear from you. We read every single comment. And don't forget, we post a new video every single day. So if you're serious about getting better, come back tomorrow for another story. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't already. You got this. Keep going. And we'll see you in the next one.